Good morning and welcome to a new Sandra Makes. It's a very blustery, blowy day after the recent storm passed over, the first big storm of the season. I'm out with Rasha, who's having a good sniff. Say hello. She's on a mission. Anyway, so yes, this is it's the weekend and I'm recording. Sorry about the wind, but it is very windy. And yeah, so we just for a little stroll. So I was just saying to Neil before I came out, it's kind of the end of the season of all the big fruit. There's so much fruit this year, like loads of apples and plums, and I've even got some local walnuts, absolutely delicious. So the season's winding down, but the one thing I've still got my eye on a bit, that hedge in the distance, it may not be much to look at, but there's sloes in there apparently, one of the neighbours told me, so I do like a bit of sloe gin, so I'll be keeping my eye on those, see if there's any sloes on them, and if there aren't, where I went ringing for the wedding last weekend, there is actually quite a lot of sloes down that way as well. Or there may be bull aces, but anyway, I'm sure they'll be perfectly fine in gin basically, but they're normally best after the first frost when they're a little bit sweeter. So I am weather watching on that. And in the meantime, when I get back from the walk, I think Neil's doing a little bit in the garden, tidying up round the back, and I am moving back onto more crafting projects now. So I mentioned last time I'm still finishing the World War II figures for Wainfleece Cottage and our November display. So they're coming along, so I'll do a bit more filming on how I've been making those. And very excited to be making more progress with the Woody from Toy Story as requested by Lucky Ducky. And I've warned Lucky Ducky that it could take quite a few weeks or more to finish this project, but I'm quite excited to give it a go. And I think I've cracked making little fingers now, so I will be sharing that. So I've been sort of working on my technique. They're quite tiny and quite fiddly to work with, but anyway, so I'll share a bit of that when I get back. Go Rasha. Meanwhile, Rasha's enjoying a little walk, aren't you, Rasha? Yay! Yeah, the darker nights are here now, so we do still go out for a little leg stretch when I get back from work, but I can't really film that. But yeah, she's doing alright. For an old girl, she's doing alright. Okay, I'll pause here and record more when I get back. Right, so I can get my sloes right here locally. There are, I don't know how well you can see if it's all, but there are so many sloes here, just masses and masses of sloes. So we'll be making sloe gin this year. Woohoo! My first Lincolnshire sloe gin. So we're about to go out to the beach, I believe. I've been doing a bit of tidying up in the back garden, and Neil was helping me get a new tap with a new washer on one of the old water butts. So I'm thinking eventually to put the third water butt at the back, and then if there's any overflow it can fill up the extra water butts. And I've also got an extra couple of gutter kits, so I thought I might put a small water butt on this side. The water does tend to collect more at this end on that side than at that end, so I may just put a little one there to collect some of that water as well. We'll see. And then I was thinking I've harvested everything. I'm going to get rid of the tomatoes, but there was the last couple of tomatoes, and also the last couple of these tiny curcumelons, and there are still some chilies coming along, so you can see them on there. There's a few more chilies coming. So with the weather being so hot and dry, they didn't actually do that well during the actual summer. Obviously we're well into autumn now, we're just getting a little bit of a last flurry of things setting that I can still eat, so that's quite nice. Anyway, I better get ready to go. Just loving the new greenhouse still. It's really smart. Looks really smart when you're walking around at the back of the property, and very much looking forward to starting off some things in the spring. And I must try and remember, I have actually got some overwinter broad beans that I need to plant on the veg place, on the herb and veg raised bed at the front, and I keep forgetting. I forgot last year as well, so I must pop those in soon. So some while later, the rain has set in. Got a very excited Rasher here hoping for a treat. You going to say hello, Rasher? You saying hello? There you go, have a fishy treat. Is that good? Is that really good? We have one more. Waiting very patiently. Yes, we like it when you don't bark, don't we? Is that nice? Nom nom nom. Right, you're gonna be a good girl now. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah, I'm gonna start cooking tea quite soon. We've had a lovely day out down on the beach. It was actually quite sunny at that point, so it was lovely. I'm going to give a little quick update. So where I'm up to with the World War II figures, we've got my first one isn't quite finished yet, but he's well on the way. So he's even got a hat now. Still need to do the face and a little bit of trimmings and webbing and things like that. But he's well on the way, so I thought I'm going to crack on while it's still fresh in my mind and start with the second leg, the first leg of the second figure. Shh, Rasher. So that's going to be the first of the two legs for the second figure. So that's pretty straightforward to do. It's a straightforward stocking stitch. And you just start off a little bit wider for the bell and bottom of the trousers, and then just decrease a little bit a couple of times, come into the main leg of the trouser, and then that'll be the start of where I join the legs together for the top part of the trousers and then the jacket. So I think I'll be able to rattle it off quite quickly now. So I do need to get those done in the next couple of weeks, ready to go into the display being organised by Wainfleece Cottage. And in the meantime, I also want to make time to crack on with the Woody from Toy Story. So I think I've more or less cracked fingers now, where I'll film that little bit, I think probably after tea, and maybe show you, if I can find a way to show you. So I've got the hang now of the magic ring part and the initial 5 stitches, but it's all quite tiny and fiddly and the cotton's quite chunky, so it's been a little bit challenging working out how to get that to work. But I have 3 fingers, a couple that didn't go quite right, and then I need to make another 3 the same, and then I need to do an index finger and a thumb, or it might be a little finger and a thumb, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, so progress on that, but I'll share that with you after I've cooked the tea. So it's going to be a very simple tea, just a quick fry up with eggs and bacon and sausage, a bit of fresh bread and maybe some beans for that and some mushroom. So that's the plan. It shouldn't take too long, and then I can carry on with a bit more crafting this evening. Back again. So I decided in the end that I will continue and actually work on completing the body of my second figure, which is needed in a couple of weeks' time. Excuse me while I let the dog out. Back again. So as I was saying, so I've been cracking on with getting the body knitted. So the first part, the legs, which started off separate, is just a basic stocking stitch, and then some decreases to make the leg part, and that's the wide leg part that goes into the boots, if you remember the other figure I've done. And then once you get to the, should we say, crotch area, then you put the other leg back on, as it were, and stitch right across, you'll be able to see the type of stitching is a little bit different on the body. So this will be, the top part will be the jacket. So the you get that effect by doing, on the purl side, you do what they call a wrong-sided purl. So I've not done this before, so it's a little bit fiddly, but it does give quite a nice effect on the knit. And then I've just reached the point where I am at the point where I'm going to start decreasing in for the neck, and then I'll change to the flesh colour for the head. But I'm just going to quickly show you this wrong-sided stitch before, so this is the last bit of wrong-sided stitch that I need to do, so I hope you can see this okay. So instead of going the back side of the needle as you normally would, you go through the, so the, excuse me, the front of the loop of the stitch, but the needle you're coming off is behind at the back. So you still want the needle at the back, but you're going through the opposite part of the stitch, so the stitch coming from the back, bring that through the front. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but anyway, so that's how I've been doing it. And then you just bring the wool around the front, pull off the stitch as normal, and then instead of going through the front of the stitch, you still have the needle coming to the front, but you go through the back of the stitch, and off you go. So I've got to finish that row, and I'll be decreasing to make the neck, and then I will start on the head. And then I'll need to do the feet, and then start bringing all that together. And then I just need to make the two arms and the jacket, and I'm well on the way to having my second little figure. So I've still got a few little bits to finish on the face of the first one, but I'm quite close on finishing that. So I think I'll get the bulk of the second one done, and then finish the little details on both of them as and when I get time. Longer nights are here, so I think I'll make more progress with that now in the next couple of weeks. And then as soon as I've made a bit of progress with this, I can show you a little bit more of the woody. So looking forward to sharing that with you. As I said, I've been working on the technique of the little magic ring and sort of drawing out the shape of the finger, but because it's all really small, there's only 5 chain stitches for the whole diameter, so it's quite tricky working with that, but I think I've cracked it now. So I've got 3, I need to make 3 fingers for each hand that look very similar, with the 5 chain stitches at the start and then a little tube. So I've got 3 for one hand, and I'm going to do the 3 for the other hand, and again I will share with you how I've been making those. So it's really exciting to finally be making a start on my Woody from Toy Story. So keep watching. Ta-ra for now. So there we are. So some while later, we have a body and a head for my second little World War II figure. So there's the inside. There's 2 legs. And then that'll be the jacket, and obviously the neck, and then the head. So it still looks a bit funny at the moment, but that's the basic shape. So I just really wanted to crack on and get that done, so that I'm not under too much pressure to get those finished in time for when they're needed, but also to free up time so that I can make faster progress with the Toy Story Woody, which I'm excited about, but I will need to really focus on that. So while my mind was still on making this, I needed to basically clear some headspace so that I can concentrate more on the new project, which will be the Woody. So I have got little bits to finish off, obviously, for that now, but there's the boots to do and the jacket and so on, the little arms and the hat, but I can do that. That's not quite so labour intensive, so I can pop that in here and there as I get time. So quite pleased with the progress on that. So it's been quite a few hours work actually, but figure number 2, as promised, is on the way. So I'm going to stop for this evening. It's getting a little bit late now. And then we've got visitors tomorrow, so probably won't get much done tomorrow, but hopefully get a bit more done during the week ahead. I hope you've enjoyed that so far. Do keep watching for the Woody update as well. Good evening. It's a work day. I've been back home for a while. Just a little bit of a breather and a sit down. It's been a very busy week. Rasha has been fed. Don't believe a word of it. You gonna say hello, Rasha? She seems to think every time I'm on camera, it's treat time. Have we been rumbled? Right, okay. Fairly quickly because I'm cooking as well. Right, Rasha. Nicely, gently, there you go. Is that nice? Right, okay. Right, so, just very quickly, I'm on cooking duty. So I am doing some, so I've stir-fried some chicken fries and a bit of normal oil with a little bit of sesame oil added in. No, Rasha. I've fried up some fresh vegetables, a little bit of chilli. I'm going to pop in some mushrooms in a minute, and I've got some rice going in the cooker. And we are having sweet and sour chicken with rice for tea. Rasha wants to say hello or something. You being cheeky, girl? Yes. Barks for treats. Not a good habit, is it? So yeah, so I'm just finishing this off. We're going to pop so I've pre-cooked the chicken with a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of corn flour, a little bit of MSG. Fried it off. Going to add it back in, add the mushrooms in, add the sauce, and it'll be a quick tea. Nice and ready for when Neil gets home. And I've also got a little bit of an update on the little World War II figures, which I will share soon. So it's all smelling very nice. She's doing it again. Smelling very nice. So I've got some cooked rice, keeping warm. As soon as I switched on the camera, it started. Anyway, and there's the sweet and sour chicken. So I did put in a little bit of chopped up fresh ginger in there as well. The dog is not going to win. No. Dogsy back. Do not get shots. No. Not even for the camera. Oh, for a quiet life. Anyway, yeah, so I'm getting quite peckish now. Neil will be home soon, hopefully. Hello again. I will be bringing you some more crafting content very soon. I have now completed all the component parts to make my second World War II figure, so I'm going to show you how I put it all together and put the stuffing in and turning it into a little 3D figure. And then once I've done that, I've pretty much just got the faces and some little decorations to finish. And then it'll be time to go crack on full time with Woody from Toy Story. So that's all quite exciting. I have recently filmed a bit of making an apple crumble not too long ago. I'm doing another one now because anybody that's lucky enough to live near where there are apple trees will know that the apples have been absolutely prolific this year. So there are still a lot on the tree and there's still quite a lot in the garage. And these ones we collected from a local orchard, but they're very much past their best, but they're still definitely good enough to make a quick apple crumble with. So I've already made the crumble mix. So it's a very, excuse me, some late flies. It's a very traditional crumble mix with half wholemeal flour, half butter, a couple of ounces of sugar, a bit of cinnamon and a bit of nutmeg in there, and just made into breadcrumbs. And the apples I'm just going to chop up and pop in my dish. and you will see that they're very far from perfect apples. There's some damage on them and a bit of insect damage and so on, but a little bit going bruised and so on. There were just some windfalls anyway, but that doesn't matter. You can just cut off all the not so nice bits and just keep the nice bits, and they'll still make a delicious crumble. So that's what I'm going to do, and then pop it in the oven and then eat it as and when after meals. As I say, Neil's not a fan, but I do like a homemade crumble, so I'm going to make one. And thanks for the suggestion for doing more bits of cooking in my videos. We will do that, but maybe in another week or two at the moment, just because I've still got a lot of apples to process. At some point I've still got to make my elderberry wine. I'm still fermenting my pear wine, which hasn't cleared yet, so I'll give it a bit longer, but it might need a bit more pectolase in there, we'll see. So that's all coming along, but at the moment we spent quite a lot of time today filming other content for the main campsite, Erstwhile Campsite Warden channel. So as people will be aware, as well as doing this weekly update, I do still do quite a lot of filming with Neil as well. So that's been ongoing. So at the moment I'm going to focus on, I'll get this crumble made and then show you the putting together one of the World War II figures and how I do that. And then it'll be Woody time. So I'm still hoping to get a little bit on Woody in this video for you as well. But I need to crack on and speak to you all soon. Rasha says hello. Rasha says hello. Oh, you like a treat? Are you going to be a good girl? She hears me talking on camera now, and every time she hears me, she thinks, oh, it must be treat time. Let's give her a little bit, shall we? She's a funny one, isn't she? Here we go. Just a little bit. Nicely. Sit. Good girl. Nicely. Good girl. That's better. Yeah, is that nice? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. She's a happy little dog, isn't she? Little sweetheart. Yeah, and thanks also for the suggestions for filming a bit more on Rasha as well. Yeah, she's a little sweetheart, isn't she? Right, gonna carry on. See you all soon.
Bread. Garlic bread. Pork pie.
Right, Neil's starting to think about tea. I'm just trying to finish my bit of filming. So I spoke about the crumble. So that's all the waste trimmings from the apples. So it doesn't matter if they're not so nice inside, but just take the best parts and it'll still make a delicious crumble. And I've just put in a little bit of sweet wine just to moisten it a bit and give a bit of extra flavour. And then all I've got left to do now is to pop the crumble mix on top and smooth it off, which I don't think I showed last time anyway. And then, yeah, just smooth it all over so that the apple's all covered. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure the apples are covered. That one's sticking up for some reason. Okay. Right, so it's pretty much covered, and that'll actually keep really well as well. That'll be fine. So I'm just going to pop that in the oven for about 40 minutes, and then we'll have a delicious crumble. So I will certainly enjoy that. I might even go mad and do a bit of custard with it this time. I'm going to put the apple trimmings in the compost bin. I'm just going to pop outside and show you that because I've not really talked about that, but it's doing really well out at the front. Bear with me. Apologies, I didn't bring the wind muff with me, but I'm not going to be here long. So that's obviously our compost bin. You can see all our fruit and vegetable trimmings go in there, and the more lightweight bits of garden trimmings go in there. I hadn't actually checked. It's a lovely hot location here. Let's going to crouch down for a moment. So if you have a quick look in there, we've got some gorgeous, lovely compost there. It's full of worms and wood lice and all sorts, and in the top part you'll have noticed there's quite a lot of fruit flies. We don't want them in the house, but out here it's just not an issue at all, and it's actually really good. So it's really good, lovely quality compost in there. So the next time I need some fresh compost when I'm planting things in the garden, I can take some of that. But we've been topping it up all year, and as it rots down, it goes down into the base and becomes new soil. And as you can see, there's still plenty of room at the top because it's just been rotting down so well, which is brilliant. So I wanted to share that with you. And the beans are coming on well too. Anyway, and I was just going to say, compared to where we lived before, this is now my sage plant here. It's growing fantastic. It's looking really healthy and really well. So when I set up this plot, it's deliberately perennial. So it'll come back year after year. I mean, most of the things in here will regenerate naturally and grow back naturally. And a lot of them are health related, so chives are good for health. Sage, I had a bit of a sore gum the other week. Made some sage tea and it cleared it up straight away. And there's quite a lot of things in here like that are not just for food or for enjoyment, but they're also for health. Even the horsetails actually are edible. I've not tried them, but apparently they are edible. So yeah, very quick garden update, but yeah, so that'll make a delicious crumble, and rather than waste those apples that weren't perfect, it's good to be able to use them, which is fantastic. Well, it has been a very prolific apple year this year. I've got Rashi with me again. She's seen the camera now. Hello, Noisy. I'm sitting very prettily. I'm not doing dog treats, I'm doing filming. Anyway, yes, so there's the crumble, all nicely made, all looking good. And I opted in the end for a little bit of ice cream with it. So let's just do a little taste test. Oh, smells nice. Yeah, really lovely. Can't beat fresh, homemade apple crumble. Excuse me, I'm going to say goodbye for now and feed the dog. Good evening, everyone. So, I'm close to finishing this particular vlog. If you followed this far, thank you so much. Appreciate having you along on the journey. And if you were hoping to see rather more woody than you've seen so far, then I can only apologise, but I'm going as fast as I can. But I did need to make faster progress with my 2 World War II figures, which obviously you can see in the background here. So they are coming along. So this one's still in progress. This one's not far off finished, but I'll do that in next week's vlog and cover how I finished those. But for the moment, so it was actually quite a tricky place to start, to be truthful, in the pattern. So the start of the pattern that I'm following is making the first 5 fingers for the first hand. I will get quicker, but I'm still working out my technique and everything. It's got this lovely cotton yarn, which looks quite fine, but actually working it with the fine crochet hook, it's been a little bit fiddly, and I've tried going up to a slightly larger hook, but that was not really that much better, if I'm honest. But it's coming along. I'm getting a bit quicker, and so at the moment, as you can see here, I have got as far as I have now crocheted the first 5 fingers for one of the woody hands, and then the next stage, which I'll share with you in the next woody vlog, will be to start to join up the fingers together and start to make the first woody hand. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. Again, many thanks for watching if you watched this far. I'm going to have one more vlog coming up on finishing the little World War II figures, and then there will be lots and lots of woody crocheting to come that I can share with you all. So I'm really looking forward to cracking on with that. It's just had to commit prior commitment to finish the World War II figures by a deadline, but I had a big push on that, and I'm confident I will hit that deadline okay. And then I'll be free to spend much more time on Woody. So that's where I'm up to. Thanks so much again for watching, and hopefully see you all on the next one. The next Sandra Makes will be here soon. Hope you all have a good week. Take care and speak soon. Ta-ra.